In this video, I'm going to give you the exact 6-month plan I'd use to get you shredded. The same 3 phases I run with every high performer that we coach, laid out month by month. Prime, cut, stabilize. If you are a successful guy who's been soft for years and you want the whole roadmap instead of just another tip, this is the video for you. And it starts the opposite of how you think. We don't start by cutting. You've done the random diets, the apps, the January reset, and then stall by March, the start Monday, quit by Thursday. There was never a system underneath it. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what happens in month 1, in months 2 through 4, and in months 5 and 6. And this is the version that actually holds instead of just rebounding by the fall. My name is Nolan Nolm. I'm a pro football player for the Toronto Argonauts. I was a D1 wide receiver and 2-time team captain for Eastern Washington. And I founded Make It Happen Coaching, where I've helped over 100 high performers through this exact plan, just like my guy up there in the top right, Austin. And as you guys can see the picture of me there as well. We're going to go through our 3 pillars, our 3 phases, 6 months, the Bulletproof Shred. As you guys can see, we've got our full layout here below. I'm going to break it down step by step. This is exactly what all my guys do. So let's get into it. Before I give you guys the plan, I just want to really be clear on why did your past 6 months fail, and really be clear on why maybe what you've done hasn't worked before. When you slash calories on a stress depleted, under muscled body and you strip water and muscle right along with the fat, like, you're going to get smaller, be softer, and you're going to feel terrible. When you do these cookie cutter programs, when you do these little PDFs, you've got a fixed plan that doesn't have a system, that you're just, it's not a discipline problem. It's a sequence problem. We don't start with just some random cookie cutter plan. There needs to be some sort of personalization. There needs to be a professional approach to this, just like every other area of your life. What we do is the Bulletproof Shred, as you guys can see here. And to simplify it into 3 different pillars, it's metabolic priming, the athletic standard, getting athletically shredded, and our identity integration. That's it. That is how we do it. This is where you stop being just a guy on a diet and become a guy who trains and a guy who is shredded all year round. If you get the order right, then you'll finally get the result that you guys want. You'll get results like my guy Austin here. We got shredded in just under 6 months. Completely dialed. It was like 4.5, 5 months. And it was a system, a simple system. So when we get into what do we do specifically when you guys come in, okay, so we've got our 3 pillars right underneath: metabolic priming, athletically shredded, identity integration. We get 100% clarity, 100% clarity. We do a macronutrient calorie assessment. We get a collection and calculation of all these different things. We get your total daily energy expenditure. We get your progress pics, your weigh-in, your measurements, calories burned, your outcomes, your vision, your burning why. These things are all really important. And understanding what is the purpose behind what you're doing this for, because if you have a gun to your head to do something, you're going to do it. So reasons are the most powerful thing that we do in this program. Daily goals and habits are BMR calculation. Okay, what is your metabolism? What are we working with? Your macronutrient profile, activity level, and lifestyle. And then depending on if you work with us VIP, we'll do a gut, blood, and DNA test and get you dialed for the rest of your life. You're going to know exactly what you need to eat that is in accordance with your biology, that's personalized to you. So when we guys get you in here, when we go on the left here, as you can see, we have depending on where you're at, some of you will get an initial meal plan. You'll get them for yourself, or you get them for your nanny, your chef, whoever you're working with. And then we get you your macronutrient calorie goal. How do we start the nutrition out? Well, there's a 6-month roadmap, and we do not start by cutting. We refuse to start by cutting because it is not the most efficient way. And a lot of you guys are coming in here already have done a million cuts. So what we do is we get you up to your true maintenance. What does that mean? We're going to raise food probably higher than you ever thought before. Some guys lose weight. Some guys get shredded initially just off this because these carbohydrates are going to help with the cortisol you've been dealing with. They're going to allow for you to have better training sessions. And more often than not, you've been under eating for years, and this hurts. So what we do is we start lifting. We start daily walking, no more cardio. We fix your sleep, and then we build the engine. So we have a runway before we get into our cut. And this is not a stall, guys. We're creating a bigger runway to have a phenomenal cut, and it's a setup. There was a study that was done, and they put men in a hard training block on high protein, and they gained muscle while losing fat. So because protein is high, because they were lifting heavy, and that's the thing. This is going to be huge for you guys. We're going to raise your maintenance so we can cut from, instead of being able to cut from, 2,000 calories, we can cut from 3,000 calories. And you believe it or not, that's what we get with our clients. We get a massive increase of their base metabolism. The hard part of priming, it's not the idea of it, it's the calibration. So your true maintenance is not just a calculator's guess. It's something that we're going to track food, we get data, and we get your weight, and we can compare the two, understanding that when we hold protein, when we hold fats, when we eat consistently, our body is able to run like a true system. And especially when we dial in that sleep, it's going to really level everything out. So it might feel backwards, but this is exactly what high performers do wrong. Okay. Then 2, we do our cut. So months 2 through 4, we get our direct fat loss, we call it. So from a strong prime baseline, we get into just enough of a deficit as we can, which is 300 to 500 calories, no more below. And our protein stays high. We're going to keep lifting heavy. We're going to run it in our training cycles. So as we come down here, I'll explain it to you guys a little bit more. This is a little bit more complex way of looking at it, but we get you in, we get you metabolically priming. And depending on what your goal is, for a lot of people, will go right to fat loss. Some people do want to come in and they want to gain muscle. We've helped clients gain, 40 pounds and get jacked. We've also helped clients lose over 60 pounds. So we've done a little bit of everything. We'll get into fat loss, and we'll live in there. As soon as we hit a plateau, okay, weight maintenance, right? This is where our weight's staying the same. We'll do cardio. We'll lower the calories. We'll add steps. This is not the order. Usually we'll lower calories first, then steps. Then the last thing we want to use is cardio, and not because cardio is bad, but we want to save cardio for the best part of the cut, which is the very end, because our body's going to adapt to it if we do it too early. We hit a plateau there. We'll refeed. We will do a diet break potentially. Boom, right back into metabolic priming, and you just see it's a cycle. Same thing with this one. If we get weight maintenance, we'll do a mini bulk. When we plateau there, we'll cut back into metabolic priming. So really, there's 2 different cycles that we're going to run there. When you come in and you're getting dialed with your training cycle, we'll make sure, boom, you have the principles of progressive overload and then a deload within that, and then implementation of new stimulus. We're going to use our eccentrics, our isometrics, our plyometrics, things that we do differently so that you look like a bodybuilder and still train like an athlete. And then mastery of movement, really dialing in the clients. Everyone is required to send me videos, a minimum of 1 per workout of their form. Coach them up. We'll get them right for the next session. So that's what we do when we get into our training cycles, all that stuff. And like I said, this is like really, really similar to what I did with my body as well. As you guys can see here, here's my journey, 5 years. And then in 2026, running a cut and getting the leanest I've ever been. Obviously, we're pretty lean here. We're pretty juiced up, but wanted to see how lean that we could really get. And this is me at 191. Here I was 210. So that just shows you guys the difference. If there's anything that's to do with your body, I've done it. Okay, so there was a big review that was done. There's 49 studies that confirm that protein plus resistance training is the lever that's going to hold our lean mass through the cut. That's exactly what we're going to do. And also when we're in this cut as well, like I said, we're from a higher maintenance. You're going to feel better. You're going to have your carbs. You're going to time them around your training. You're going to have better training sessions. This is also, we're going to allow for more glycogen into our muscles. So it's just a win-win-win. And that's exactly how it works. So this is where most people, they just all focus on the cut, but where the cut is won in the prime and in the stabilize. That's really it. And the issue is people are going to run one fixed calorie number for 3 months. You're just going to get into this crazy, no. We're going to make weekly adjustments. And that's what about having a coach is too, right? Like I'm out of the emotions of it, the this, the that. Like I'm here to remove all feelings, and we just run the protocol. So the issue is that people just stick with a fixed target, and then it doesn't adjust, and then they don't ever get the results they want. Okay, the next thing that we do is we stabilize. So this is when we come out our reverse. Okay, so we're going to add food, and once again, we're gonna add food every single week, and we're gonna get up to a higher baseline than was actually possible before. So I'll show you guys really quickly. When I got to this point right here, I was eating 570 grams of carbs, guys. 570 grams of carbs as opposed to 200. I have videos on this. You guys have been on my channel. You guys know there's a million videos on it. But that's what the reverse is. The reverse is when we come out of the cut, we're going to raise food slowly but surely every single week, and we're going to let it all this. You can see my muscles look very full because our body is going to use these carbohydrates incredibly well. And there was multiple studies shown that there is a metabolic slowdown when you diet. And when you do this, your body is going to protect itself, right? It's going to lower your metabolism by a couple hundred calories. And the big thing that's going to happen is your NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Sorry, I know I'm jumping around here, guys. But this right here, our 15% of our NEAT, it's going to be down quite a bit. So that, along with our BMR, which are the two main things that we're going to burn the calories with. So when we reverse out, we're going to build these back up. And also when we prime to begin with, it's not going to be as drastic of a loss. So you guys hopefully can see, like, when you do this in the right sequence, it's super huge. So this is exactly what the 6 months would look like. And then obviously the identity integration, we talk about that. It's one of the most important things. That's why we got our group calls with our bunch of high performers. Like I said, we've had over 100 people come through the program. And our weekly check-ins that I give you guys, the community that we have, the daily check-ins when I come and tap in with you guys on the app. We get our values and needs assessed. We find these patterns, these beliefs that have been holding you back on our breakthrough call. Me being trained by Tony Robbins and having strategic intervention skill set, where we break these beliefs and we break through to a whole new version of yourself. And create it so your new baseline. Everybody has a baseline. Some people or the rock bottom, 300 pounds. Some people it's 10% body fat. So it's very different. And then we get just health, wealth, relationships, create your anchors. And that gets us our goal body, guys, where it's permanent and you got better health. You look great, feel better. You got discipline and respect. Your wife's more interested than being intimate with you than just scrolling on her phone finally again. So that's exactly what it looks like. The Bulletproof Shred that we run with, guys. You look like an athlete. You look like a freaking bodybuilder, and you still move like an athlete, guys. And you know how to run the cycle of metabolic priming, and it's just you're dialed. I really believe that what we're doing is on the frontier of the best in the world, and especially when you guys do VIP with us and we get our gut, blood, and DNA testing and we integrate that into your life, you're forever changed. And we're talking about health that lasts a lifetime. So your 3 actionable takeaways I want you guys to take from this video: prime before you cut. You have to eat to maintenance or even above that. Raise your carbs. I usually go about 25 grams of carbs a week and allow our body to adjust to that. Cut from the high baseline. Remember, you can either cut from 2,000 or 2,900. You pick. I'm pretty sure you take 2,900. Testosterone is going to be higher. Cortisol is going to be lower. Our thyroid is going to be in a better spot. Then stabilize to keep it. Really, these 3 phases are everything, guys. Everything. So if you're somebody who wants to stop just getting these cookie cutter programs, these PDFs, and you want something that's built to your life, your data, the numbers that will move as your body adapts. If you want to be held to this standard and create this new standard that you have in your life that will last forever, then you guys can click the link down below and book in a call to see if it's a right fit. This is not for everybody. Like I said, we've got a community of people that have gotten incredible results, guys. It's undeniable at this point. You saw Austin right here. One of my favorite ones that I bring up with you guys all the time is Jared. He was 41 years old, first time in his life that he's seen a 6-pack. So Ricky, Cyrus, I could go on and on, guys, all with this Bulletproof Shred protocol. So I want you guys to imagine that 6 months from now, you're the leanest that you've ever been since ever. And you didn't white knuckle it. You had a system, you had coaching, you knew exactly what to do because you had someone that was guiding you through it, that had been through before, that had helped other people through it before. Your energy holds all day. You take your shirt off without feeling like you need to hide, and you're finally as elite in your body as you are in your business. Like I said, this is not for everybody, but if this is you, book in a call down below, or you guys can go DM me on Instagram, Shred at Nolan Ulm, and I'll talk to you guys on there. I hope you guys enjoy. Comment any other questions, anything you want to see in our future videos. Like, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Make it happen. Out.